I'm not sure exactly what happened there. The screen just went like black for a second and then suddenly everything restarted. Not the whole computer, just OBS and Discord and Roll20.
What the
That's
hell
really odd.
happened?
I have no idea.
You've been hacked.
Nah, I probably just need to clean up my drives.
Can
It's
I
fine.
take this opportunity to go for a smoke? Dorian, are you good to go until 1 a.m.?
Um, that's fine by me. Well,
Okay.
it would be two for me, yeah, but yeah, sure.
So in that
One more
case,
hour?
we will be right back, folks. See you soon.
Quick,
All right.
bye.
Hello and welcome back to the Children of the Cup. We apologize about the interruption. Bringing us back in. So Ajala, you are coming downstairs at this point. Your flirtatious attempts have unfortunately failed, as it seems he was completely oblivious to them.
Okay, that,
Oh,
at least
no.
that's the case. That probably means he's interested in girls. Ugh.
Hate when it happens.
Yeah.
You can burn at the stake for that, just saying.
It probably happened enough. I think actually it might have happened more in this time period than
It did
In
Later
happen,
hiding. In hiding, yes.
yeah.
unless you were in where is it? Iraq. Then it's more of a you can do open.
Okay.
They have a whole day for it.
Can we move to Iraq?
No, we were in
No.
Jerusalem. We need to be in
Just
Jerusalem.
joking. We have to go to Jerusalem. That's true.
Yes.
All right. So, you guys have your room keys. The second bed is brought up. The old woman has just given her toothy, gapped smile. Have a pleasant one.
And we were about to go heading towards the north side of the wall to see the armory.
There's no official armory here. There's a Fletcher
Blacksmith.
towards the west, and then there's a blacksmith as well in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Is it more reasonable to pass by the Fletcher before
It's
we
more
get...
reasonable to hit the Fletcher first, yeah.
Then we should probably hit there
And then-
first to see what it costs.
Yeah, either hit the Fletcher or split up.
So you go ahead and head up to where the Fletcher was mentioned to be, and it's not like a proper building that's purely dedicated to fletching. What it is there's a building where it's sort of a general goods store, but you can see that there's a open, almost garage-like portion of the building off to the side, where there are quite a few barrels that most of them sit closed, but one of them is open, and you can see that there's quite a bit of wood shavings on the ground. There's some carpenter's tools around, a small fire, and there's a gentleman who is kind of sitting in a rickety chair working away at making a few arrows, and there's quite a bit of feathers piled up in some of the barrels. And there are some bows that also sit up against a table, up against and on a table. And he's kind of whittling away. But he looks up at all of you.
Should we look over to the bows and... Do you have any bows for sale?
Yeah. All of them are for sale. What is your training like? What are you able to pull?
I think I can handle fairly strong bows, she says. Does Cecilia remember exactly what bows she used? Or does she just remember having bow?
You remember having a bow. You're not entirely sure what the strength of it was.
Maybe I can try some of the bows and see which one I like.
That could work. And he stands up and he puts away the small bundle that he was working on, and he goes over and he takes the lightest one, and he goes ahead and strings it and hands it to you, and you begin just giving some dry pulls, and it's fairly easy. So he goes ahead and unstrings that one, puts it down, brings up a new one, and you get up and up and up in the poundage until you get around a 95-pound bow, and that's when finally you're feeling a little bit more of the strain. He only has like one that's 100 pounds, and you go ahead and test that one out, and you can, because it's daytime, you do feel a strain on your muscles, but you feel that you could maybe fluidly pull the 100-pound bow around 10 times before you'd have to take like a minute or two and rest, and then you'd have to like take more successive rests the more that you continue to pull it after that.
Yeah, she says, this is probably good for me, and then I can train with it as well to become stronger.
Would you?
How much would it cost?
That one will only cost you 1 silver. The rest are the 95, 20 copper, and it only goes down from there. If you want, I can sell you both the 95 and the 100. The 95 possibly for more continued use, and the 100 for more training until you're more comfortable.
Do you want to get both? Because I can use one, maybe.
You can also use one. Yeah, okay. Let's take both then.
Something tells me that I'm not unable, as in, I think I've trained with those.
Would you like to give it a try, both of you?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
So he goes ahead and he hands the two of you. He starts with the 85 pounders with the two of you, whereas with Cecilia he started with like a 57 pounder. But he starts with the 80 pounders for the two of you. Go ahead and make me. The only reason I gave Cecilia this with no rolls was because she has lots of points in archery. But go ahead and make me a dexterity archery roll as we start with the 80-pound bows. And its difficulty is going to be 7 because they're still in the sun. Okay.
Dexterity archery, dexterity 7.
2 successes from Serafino.
Oh wait, if I scroll the number changes, fantastic. There we go.
Okay, 2 successes. Okay.
Oh, same.
So he watches as you guys pull them, and you guys do get a little bit of strain from them, and he says, okay, we can go higher. And he takes them, unstrings them, put them down, brings out the 90s, and go ahead and make me those rolls again. Okay. That's where you're feeling like that's where you can get the most work.
Same.
So, as he watches you beginning to pull on them, he doesn't even ask how comfortable you are pulling with them. He's specifically looking at your backs as you're beginning to pull them, and he goes, "That looks like the right poundage for the both of you." Interesting. So yeah, we can go ahead and get those, and the 90s are only 18 copper additional each.
Yeah. I'll offer the bows to all you. How much is it?
So it's 1 silver for the 100 pounder. For the 95, it's 20 copper, and then for the 90s, it's 18.
20
get
plus
a,
18 copper. And
Is
38.
actually Ayala strong enough to use a bow because of the medium
Did he
strength?
offer a discount? Because we're buying 3? Just curious.
He does not offer one.
Yeah, just the math. I paid for all the bows. Done it.
What is your? You said your strength was 2, Ajala?
Yes.
Yeah. So the bow that you get, you're able to use it. It's just it feels a little bit uncomfortable.
Oh, so it's
you feel like you're gonna
a
need to put in some work before you're able to properly pull this.
minimum strength is 3, I'm guessing.
Minimum strength is 3. Yeah.
We probably only need 3 bows, so like 100, 195, and 190. Or did you buy 290?
Jay, what is your
290.
what is your minimum? What's your strength?
Oh, my strength is 4.
Okay, so with what you were able to pull, he's willing to give you a 95 as well, Jay.
Okay. Write it down.
So the 95 will count as the longbow and up. So 95 and up will count as the longbow, and then below 95 will count as the short bows. So Ajala will end up with a short bow. And then if Jay wants, or if Setafino wants, he can get a longbow. And Cecilia, you're at a longbow, and you're going up to the hundreds.
I want a longbow.
Okay.
Definitely.
How heavy was mine in that case?
Yours was a 90, so you ended up with a short bow.
Right.
I want a 95-pound longbow.
For
Definitely.
your short bow, it is a minimum strength 3, so you end up with a -1 dice penalty when you use it.
Right.
The short bow is armor piercing 2, range 60, and its damage is 2. For the longbows, they are damage 4, range 120. While the short bow can be concealed under a heavy under a cloak, the longbows cannot be concealed. And the armor piercing for the longbows is 4.
Cool.
I'll ask Cecilia and Nubian, are you able to fletch arrows for this, or should we bring some as well?
You should buy a quiver each.
He only charges you 5 copper per quiver. So you end up paying, if you all want to get a quiver, 15 copper. And then if you want, if you want a bushel of arrows, so 20 arrows, he charges you 2 copper per bushel.
No, I will take the quiver. 5 copper each, you say?
Yeah.
I'll pay for it.
Are we taking arrows as well, or are we splitting, for example,
Yeah,
a
the quiver
stack?
and the bushel are separate. So the quiver holds 20 arrows, which is 1 bushel, and there's and the bushels are 2 copper a bushel.
Yeah, I got us a quiver each.
Okay.
A quiver each, and with arrows in it. Is it the quivers, are they war quivers with more than 20 arrows, or is
No.
it 20?
He only has essentially hunting quivers, which carry 20.
Alright.
That's fine.
That should be fine. It's not like you're going to shoot like a 20 in one night, I'm guessing.
You could. It's possible.
You could. It's possible, but...
According to my calculations, I'm on 10 gold, 131 silver, and 48 copper.
The leftover.
Mm-hmm.
So how many bushels do you guys buy?
1 bushel is 10 arrows.
1 bushel is 20. 1 bushel
Right.
fills 1 quiver.
Yeah, I should take 1 quiver and 20 arrows each, maybe.
So 1 quiver, 1 bushel for each.
Yeah, so that would be 7.
That'll be
copper
7
per-
total. Yeah, if you're buying
Alright.
them all.
7. I'll get that for us too.
It's,
The presents are anywhere.
bushel. If you already calculated the quivers, it's just 6 more copper
Mm-hmm.
to remove from the list.
Yeah.
And if you guys decide to buy additional bushels, you can't carry them in your quivers, and they come they come lightly tied together, and they would have to sit like on your saddle or in a satchel of some sort. In order to use those, say for instance you guys got into combat and you ran out of arrows, you'd have to go over to where you had them, cut the tie on, pick them up, cut the ties on them, and then put them in your quiver before you were able to shoot them.
Yeah, Cecilia would want to have 1 extra bushel if it's okay.
Okay. So
For
add
2
another
more
2
copper.
copper in there.
Well, then you're paying for it.
Alright, she gives over 2 copper.
Okay.
Someone's stingy.
Uncle Scrooge. Yes.
Uncle Scrooge.
Alright.
He offers
So-
you he offers you guys if you want, he can give you guys fletching knives for 1 copper each. It's this, like, essentially it'll count as having a knife in combat, but it gives you a +1 modifier when you go to craft more arrows.
I will take 1. I give over 1 copper.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take
I do not feel like there is anything I'm familiar with, so I'm gonna respectfully decline.
So it's just 1 copper for that knife.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, done. I'll take 1.
All right, and go ahead and write down that you have a fletching knife, which essentially gives you a +1 when making more arrows. Excuse me.
It's now we realize how much we got screwed over at the first time when we bought the knife, and he wanted like a lot of money for it. It sounded little, but here we realize we paid a lot of money for that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Cecilia did, because she was the one with money then. Language barriers.
You're trying to
Cost
say
extra.
something. I paid for your room, the stables, and the bows.
I didn't say anything. It's your blood money.
It's your blood money.
I'm just taking the gifts that you're buying with him.
And then he asks, "Do you need any general supply? We can go inside of the shop and."
What we need is an armorer, someone that will make us armor. Do you know?
We do not have an armor. We have a blacksmith. But I think his cousin was an armorer.
We will go to the blacksmith and see what he can offer.
That's
Yes.
like a familiar story.
They've all read from the same script.
Yes, this entire town is a sham. The walls are made of cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
You're on a Hollywood production set.
Sounds a lot like the Tudor dynasty.
Alright. Thank you for the bows.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
And yeah, she feels a little more confident now she has a bow. It feels right to carry on.
All right, and you guys
Yeah.
head straight to the blacksmith, or you want to make any additional stops?
Straight to the blacksmith, I think.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. So you guys go ahead and head over, and you get closer actually to the docks themselves, where you don't see any major ships in port. It's just there's like 2 cargo ships that are the equivalent of a brig, if you know what a brig is, and a few fishing trolleys are in port. But he has a very open workspace. He's got a furnace that goes through the chimney of it goes through a thatched roof. It's his anvil, his table, his equipment, everything that he has is kind of out in the open on tables. Yeah, and you can see that it looks like his house is literally next door. As the door is open, you can smell fresh bread coming, the scent of fresh bread coming from inside. And there's a small child that is going over to him and talking to him briefly before running into the house as you guys are approaching. And as he clangs away at a horseshoe. Yeah? What do you need?
We heard that there were no armor in town, but everyone seems to point in this direction anyway.
Yes, my cousin is an armorer, but he's in Acre. But I can make very basic armors if you need.
What about advanced? We don't want basic. We want something more.
How advanced?
Composite?
As much as you can be.
I could do composite it with... For all 3 of you?
Yes.
Well, I guess it'll take a very long time if you don't have anything prepared.
I
It
don't.
depends
I
on
don't.
time.
It perhaps 2 days.
What do you guys think? 2 days here?
How fast can you do one if you only do one? Still-
One I could probably, if I rushed it, I could probably do it in about 6 hours.
Maybe only do one then, as we want to travel tomorrow.
What do you think, Ajala?
Can he make chainmail?
Um,
And how long does he take to do that? Is basically what he asks his companions because he doesn't understand a word of what is being said back to them.
Alright, she will turn to the blacksmith and say, can you do chainmail?
I can. That would take 11 hours.
you can do it in 11 hours.
1 and 11.
And what time of the day is it now?
Right now, let's see. So midday's prayer is going on right now. So
But should it be-
off in the distance on the other side of town, you can hear the imam doing prayer. You can also hear the sound of a small church bell going.
Do you
To
really want that
everyone.
armor? If we really want to, I say we just chill here for a couple of days.
I could
Head up to the
do
library.
a composite, yeah, in roughly about 7, 8-ish. If I'm going normal, I could rush it up to 6 hours, and that would be chainmail with some stitched together plates on the front of the chest. You understand what I mean?
I understand.
If things translated, then yes.
She will turn to the group and in French say, maybe you should stay here 2 days then and search for the Crusader. Here, if there's any tracks.
I don't mind staying here for 2 days. Is there a library here?
I am mainly worried about the Wolfman.
Do you switch from French to ask him if there's a library?
Yes, Arabic.
There is. It's very small and it is in the church. But I do not know how you would access it. It is, from what I understand, available to monks.
Fuck me. Okay,
No, thank you.
so 2 days without a library. It's gonna be a challenge.
Alright, so can you in 2 days make 2 composite armors and 1 chainmail?
I could, yeah.
Quick question to the DM: is that chainmail more interesting? For me?
No. You're more comfortable with composite. The chainmail
in
would
that
count
case,
as heavy armor.
in that case, I'll go for the composite as well. As in, I thought the suggestion of the
So
the
scar
chainmail
The
work
chainmail
better.
would count as heavy armor, so it'd be a rating 4, but a penalty 2. Whereas the composite is rating 3, penalty still 1, just like the textile.
Okay, yeah.
So who would wear the chainmail better?
No one then. I thought he wanted one.
I prefer some flexibility. That's why I prefer the composite, because it's only a 1 dice penalty.
Can I wear the chainmail?
Anyone can wear it, that's not the issue. The issue is, are you okay with having the 2 dice penalty to your dexterity?
Let me see.
If you only want to defend yourself, it can be better.
Oh yeah, it's fine by me. I can take the chainmail. Do you want to take it, Cecilia?
No, I want to compensate, so.
Okay. I'll
Composite.
take the chainmail then. Since you asked so kindly to make it, I'll take it.
What I could do, instead of making a full set of chainmail, I could just make a hauberk.
Well, as we want the composite armors as well, we
Did you say a
stay 2
hauberk?
days anyway.
Yeah.
I'll take a hauberk.
Okay. So essentially, what the hauberk would do is it would give you the floor with a penalty of 1, but it's only covering your chest. It's not covering like your full arms, and it's not covering your legs.
That's not a problem for a vampire. I'll take the hauberk. No problemo.
It can still be a problem if someone cuts off your leg. Or an arm.
Minor
That is still fully possible. Someone can still chop off an arm or a leg.
Alright.
I would
Composite.
I would sleep with my cousin quickly than someone chopping off my leg. I'm thinking.
You say that now.
You say that, but I have seen some things in Vampire that you would not believe.
Alright, but how much would it cost us for 1 hauberk and 2 composites?
The hauberk itself would be 50 silver. The composites would be 35 each. So that would be 85 for one Haubergen composite, and then 120, 115, 120, 150. Give me a moment. And he goes over and starts marking out on.
Is
On
it
the
100
freaking
silver?
wall with
Is
his
it-
fucking knife again.
Yeah. Is it 100 silver and 1 gold? Or how is the conversion?
The conversion would be 100 silver, would be 1 gold, yeah.
Alright.
1 gold and a few silvers.
What about 1 gold and 10 silver as you buy 3 things?
That could do it.
Nice.
I have 10 gold, I can pay for it. I don't mind.
I hope you're not shouting that out loud.
Did you
but
shout
yeah.
that in Arabic out loud?
No, I told that to Cecilia in French.
Okay.
And she answers in French, I know. And then she answers in Arabic, that would be fine. And she will take a step back and let her cousin pay for it.
Yes, your cousin. Alright.
You better sleep with me tonight, because I've been paying for shit all day long.
That's not gonna happen.
Well, Jello will be busy with the stable boy, so you never know.
That stable boy's a bit too oblivious.
How much is it then?
So 1 gold and then 10 silver.
1 gold, 10 silver. Let's go for it. So, and here.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay. Done.
Looking in the stuff here, for those of you who have daggers, write down
Yes.
that if you have a dagger in hand, your parry difficulty is a 5.
Hmm. Interesting. Does
Use
he
it.
have shields?
I don't, but there's a carpenter just up the road. He has a few. He usually makes them for the guard.
And I turn to Ayala and say in French, because that makes sense, and say, maybe you want a shield as well to the spear?
Sounds like a plan.
Alright.
I could handle that, yeah.
Well, thank you then. We will be back in 2 days.
Out of curiosity, when would the first composite be done?
So the first composite would be done this evening.
Till what time are you here?
Usually work until morning bell.
Translating through one of you two, this is probably happening. and
Morning,
he'll be like-
translating to dawn. Yeah.
Yeah, but to talk to him, he's probably talking through either Serafina or
Cecilia.
Cecilia.
Yeah, we're translating and stuff and helping.
And he'll be like, I might be by, pick it up early, at least one of them, depending. I'm not entirely sure if I can, but if I can,
Yeah, we will come and pick them up ongoing and so on, so we can see that the work is what we want.
Very well. I can do that. Are you staying somewhere?
We're staying at, and then I say the name of the place.
Okay.
please.
I can send a runner when I am done with each piece.
That would be perfect.
Yeah. And he will tell the old woman or her son, and they will tell you.
I see. Alright. Thank you. We will go to this shield maker.
Have a good one. And you guys head off. And you go up the road to where there's a carpenter. He doesn't have many shields on display, but the few that he does have look like they're really decent craft. And a few of them look like they already have the city heraldry, or not the city, but the town heraldry on them that you saw some of the guards have.
Good day.
Hi. Is there something that I could get you? Furniture, an armoire?
It is my guard here would actually need a new shield, so I wonder if you have one without emblems on. That is good to combine with the spear.
Oh, okay. So are you looking for... And he kind of just turns to Ajal at this point. Are you looking for something smaller, or like a buckler, or are you looking for more of a... what is the classification of shields? We're not at heaters yet. We're at...
Kite shields.
Kite,
and stuff?
yeah, we're at kites. So
Yeah,
you're
the
looking more
large
for
round
a-
shield,
for a
bucket,
kite
kite shield.
shield.
She will translate.
Let
Shall
us
I
translate
look at
to Ajala.
Cecilia as she translates? Now, when looking through these shields or looking over these shields, is there anything that would... As in, do I think that fighting with a shield and spear is how I used to do it?
More than likely. You can vaguely remember that you have done a phalanx once or twice.
And which
So-
of the shields here seem to resemble closest to memory?
For Nubians, I believe that would be small shield and spear, or small shield and pike.
It
Is
depends.
usually
If
what
you had
we
a
go with.
phalanx with one-handed spears, it probably was a shield with an indenture that you can place the spear in.
Oh,
If they,
that's a good
if they-
point.
if they have one of those, I might take one of those. Something
You know,
that
like
I'm-
the shield
I
and
can work with one. Yeah, I could.
You stand in.
Yeah, I could work with perhaps a small shield and or a kite shield and do that for you. It would take me maybe an hour.
Yeah, that would be good. We can come by. We have other business to get some other things, so we will come back later
Yeah.
today.
other business to get some awesome.
If you want, I can have it run to where you are. Are you at home, or are you? And he just asks basically, "Where?"
I'm
Yeah,
gonna. It's fine. We'll
say
pick it up from here.
Yeah, I say where we. Yeah, we can come by and pick it up. Actually,
Yeah, we'll
We will
pick it up from here. No one needs to know where we are.
Okay, very well.
Armor already knows, but yeah.
I
Yeah,
will thank him, like directly and through Cecilia, like for his working time.
Okay. The price that you have to pay for you're getting the smaller, the standard. That's all I need to know.
I'm guessing standard, which is slightly bigger than small.
The standard is okay. So the small one gives you a parry difficulty of 4, but it does not accrue a attack penalty. The standard one still gives you a parry difficulty of 6, though, but it gives a +1 to your attack penalty, which doesn't entirely make sense. I guess what it's trying to say is it gives you an additional dice to attacks because you can feign your attacks behind the shield.
Let's go with the small shield instead. That sounds.
I don't know what they actually mean by this.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna need to look more into.
It's like you can take a small shield and it's good. You can take the big shield and it can either be good or bad, in my opinion. It can go both ways.
The small shield doesn't invoke an attack penalty, so yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I'm not sure what they mean by that, so I will look into that later. Anyways, so you go ahead and get yourself a small shield. All right. And are there any other major people you want to visit or anything like that before you kind of turn in for the evening and then go out to get your orders when necessary?
I want a library.
You can try going to the church.
Serafino needs to go to the church and search for the library.
Okay. Does Serafino head there
I'll follow
alone?
him.
Okay, you follow him.
I think that I would probably go to my room then. I need to think some more before I go to church.
You mean our room?
No, I mean my room. And she starts walking away.
Okay. So you head off back to the inn, and Ajala and Serafino, you guys head over to the church. It's a small, it's not even really a church, it's just a chapel.
Okay.
It's got, it doesn't even have a tower with a bell in it. It just has a bell that has been kind of made into where an old well used to stand that's now dried over time. The well's been covered, and they've used the post for the well to attach a small bell to it.
Oh my god, is it that bad?
It's not horrible. But you guys go inside. There's not a whole lot of artwork on the walls, but what little artwork there is, it is very finely detailed. And there aren't any pews or anything like that. There's just a single large podium, excuse me, for the priest to speak at. But as you walk inside and you
Where are the books?
you do see a single man is kind of praying currently at a small altar up at the front of the church, and he stands as he hears you all come in and turns around. Ah, hello, I'm Brother Donovan. How may I help you? And he's speaking in Latin.
Okay, we came here in search for books and knowledge because we have to stay here for a couple of days, and I was wondering if there's something worth studying around here.
You could certainly study here, should you wish. The books cannot be taken out of the church, but we do have a decently kept cellar that holds our library. It's not a very vast library, but it has a few interesting books in there.
Okay, can we have a look at them?
Sure, follow me. And he kind of goes past the altar, and there's a small wooden door that he opens up. And as he opens it, you can see that on the inlay of the door, there's something written in Latin. And he points to it and says, all you must do is read that.
Okay.
And it simply says, God is the path, the light. God is my will.
Okay. Let's go for the books then.
Okay. Do you read it out loud?
Books. I want to read it out loud, of course.
Okay. So you go ahead and read it out loud. And he's like, all right, you are literate. I will allow you towards the books. And he goes ahead and he takes you downstairs, and there's roughly the same size room downstairs as the rest of the chapel. It's a little damp, but you can see that the books that he does have are in an armoire with with stained glass, and they're kind of locked up. And he goes over towards them, brings out a few lanterns and lights them. There's a writing desk down here, and there's sort of a desk with a chair here. The occasional cobweb here or there. And he takes the key and he opens it up. And, of course, there's different iterations of the Bible in there. There are a few medical treatises, and also some basic books about, how to learn how to read Latin and things like that. The most interesting things he has is there's a treatise on etiquette in French courts. There's a treatise on Hungarian lifestyle, and there is there's a book on duels.
Oh, interesting.
And it's civil complaint duels. It's like, should two people come to a judge with a complaint, and they have to settle by trial by combat. Here are some of the like recorded examples of fencing techniques that have been used in those duels, and what has proved to be most effective and what hasn't.
Oh, that's actually more interesting than the rest of it. I want to read those fencing duels books.
It is in German.
Fuck. Ajala, do you understand any of this?
It's a book.
It's a book.
It's talking about something. Would you care to see what?
There are little pictures.
Do you understand the
You
language?
can understand that it's talking about fencing in some way, shape, or form, because there are pictures. But all the text is in German.
I don't think I can read. Is it not even... Doesn't matter what language. I don't think I can read at all.
You can read because you don't have the illiterate trait, I believe. Correct?
Yeah, but I have like 0 in academics.
That's fine. You can still read basic Nubian,
Oh, okay.
which would end up being Latin.
Later on, but not yet.
That's right. Later on.
I believe. As in if... That is odd though, isn't that? That makes it difficult because I don't think they wrote in Nubian. They wrote in
No, they
Latin
wrote
in the
in
church.
a different language.
Did they actually? Well, I can't read it anyways, and that's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're screwed.
The pictures are very interesting, but you can't read the book.
Oh.
Well, that's a waste of time. But at the same time, I look at the book and I'm like, I can see perfectly. I don't need these for anything. I can see as much as I would see without my glasses. Something's odd, but I don't need glasses anymore.
Is that... Does that happen?
I don't
Usually.
know, possibly one of the side effects from drinking blood. I have no idea, but
What language is this, by the way, that you're talking
I am
to?
assuming that you guys waited until after the father left the room.
I'm sincerely hoping so.
yeah, we're talking alone.
Yeah, but it healed your wounds as well, so maybe.
Heal my sight. I had never taken my glasses off for anything before, but I see perfectly without them at the moment.
So weird.
All right.
What does Cecilia do?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. What's with Cecilia?
I missed what
Did
Jay
you-
said, so something Cecilia.
Oh, yeah. Something Cecilia, that's what
I
I'm
said,
sure
what
of.
does Cecilia think about this?
I have no idea. Could ask her when we're back at the inn. What I do know, and which might relate to your glasses, is when I was chasing that woman last night, as in, I felt like I could keep on running, as in, and it didn't tire me, like, at all. It's weird, considering the way we were cramped in a box earlier that day. And we apparently hadn't moved for 30-ish year, possibly, or we might be missing some other stuff. But coming out of a box, shuffling, walking, running, not being tired, there's something off about that as well.
Yeah, so basically, everything that has been happening since we opened our eyes is weird.
That is like the only consensus I can come to.
Cecilia.
It's not here.
He's not there.
There.
Still.
I know, I'm still thinking about sleeping with my cousin.
You,
Just saying.
in all what is happening, that is really what occupies your thoughts.
This is really good for you, Ajala, because you could sleep with the stable boy.
Wait, I don't know what you were talking about.
Okay.
Also, yeah, as in he probably wouldn't have done that in plain sight of everyone.
Yeah.
As
So
in-
you wouldn't know about the stable boy.
Moving on. So, since we can't get any more access to any books, should we go somewhere else or should we go to rest?
Well, we're at a chapel. There's any moment for prayer it would be now, although I doubt it will be heard.
What do you mean prayer? Pray for what?
Well, it seems... Isn't this what we're supposed to do also after what happened?
I would pray if I didn't have to drink blood to survive.
You know, that is the one thing that I do keep thinking, that if there is a god, that they have probably long since abandoned us,
Us.
me,
Yeah,
whatever we are now.
I think the same.
Few steps are heard coming down the stairs into the cellar, and you watch as the father pokes his head down. Did you guys find anything useful or interesting?
Well, this is-
Apparently, we don't have access to the books because we're not part of the church. But I would love to read some things that have been around here.
No. He gave you guys access to the books because you were able to read the Latin on the door. It's just the one book that you found that you said was interesting was in
Interesting.
German. That's the only thing.
Oh, yeah. It's just one book that is in German, which I don't understand, which I would love to know more about.
It could. I could do a translation of it, but it might take me about a week. Perhaps.
A week?
I just heard you say a week. That sounds like a long time. I'll say to Serafina.
Yeah, a week is a long time. Is there any way you could do that quicker?
I'm afraid not. I'd have to do sermons, then I'd have to, eat, drink, prayers, come down, translate for as many hours as I could, sleep, repeat.
Okay, yeah. Screw the book. There's no chance. 1 week here, I'm not willing to handle that.
I would prefer neither.
I notice
Well then,
you two seem to understand each other, but he's clearly speaking something other than Latin.
Oh, fuck.
just tell her that I don't understand what
we're-
you're saying, so I can't say anything to.
We're
Serafina
speaking
right now.
French. Do you know any French?
Je ne sais quoi?
Merde.
So you speak French too?
And he begins speaking. I just said je ne sais quoi because that's like the only thing I don't even know what it means. I just know it's French words.
It means
so.
I don't know what it
Right,
means. So do you speak French then?
So he says in French, yeah, I can speak it. I can't read it, but I can speak it.
So you possibly understand everything about French.
I can speak French, yes.
Oui, nous, je parle avec vous comprenez français tout le monde.
No clue what that means in real life.
Yes.
Okay. We need to get another language, Jala. Just saying.
What language do you say that in?
Latin.
Jala looks at Serafina. Why? What's he on about?
He understands Latin, Arabic, and French.
Tell him I'm just terrible at speaking Latin. And that you know my language.
I know his language. He's terrible at Latin and possibly every other language, but
I
We
can
have
hear
it.
that, you know.
yeah, no. You can kill me later.
Jala just rubs his temples like.
So
Man.
he does know Latin then.
Very little. Mostly when I speak it.
Make an intelligence.
Something about the accent.
Hold on.
Hey, he doesn't need to know. Let's just think about it as it's the accent.
So, do I not have a priest? Oh, I have that priest. No, I need like a normal priest. I can use.
Not a overpowered super priest.
Yeah, I can use a scholar. Let's see here. He's gonna make a. Let's see here. Intelligence. Academics roll.
There is an easy solution to this.
Intelligence.
Kill him.
Or better yet, not intelligence, wit.
That is your solution to
solution.
everything.
And then academics. And then difficulty 6. Doop. So, he understands Latin, but only when you speak Latin? Wouldn't that mean that he understands enough Latin to understand other people speaking Latin? Seeing as you're speaking the same Latin words that I would be using.
Can I
What does he
deceive
say?
him? Can I deceive him?
Give me like a general basis of what you want to deceive him with.
I want to deceive him into thinking that we're speaking another language and not what he's thinking of.
Okay, this is gonna be difficult. At
I
this
know.
point.
I know. I need to
So-
try it anyways.
Face.
So what we need to have rolled here is we're going to do a. Sorry, I'm gonna touch.
Can I give a suggestion? Because Serafino is so intelligent, can I give a suggestion?
A potential
You are
epiphany.
more than welcome to give a suggestion.
Help me, please.
Maybe Serafino can think of, oh, he doesn't actually understand my words. He understands what I do with my fingers. That is easier to actually fake than the other way around.
So fake sign language.
And just
So, yeah,
pray
he
the priest
understands
doesn't
sign
know sign
language.
language.
Okay. What do you think, Hajal?
This is this is your inner
I'm
voice.
thinking that's
This
inside
is your,
your
this
head.
is your
I think.
inner voice. Inner voice. Your inner voice
Okay.
thinks for a second fake sign language, maybe.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's do it. Fake sign language.
'Cause if that question came up like at random at this point to Ajala, he'd be like, I don't know, boobies.
So, in order to deceive him into thinking that you're using sign language, even though you're speaking Latin, to communicate with a Jala who's speaking Nubian, or it was Sudanese or Nubian or whatever it was,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to make me a difficulty 7 manipulation subterfuge.
While he's trying to pull this off, Ajala probably says something to Serafino in that same while that sort of mentions, wait, he's onto our Tower of Babel thing, and the Babel will probably be a word that sticks out because it's probably the same.
It's exactly the same, yeah. And he needs to make a...
Wits empathy?
yeah, I was
Perception
going to say
empathy?
wits, empathy. Yeah, I'd say wits, empathy. Yeah. So wits, empathy. 2. Okay. So you try
Rough.
your best to persuade him into thinking that you are simply speaking Latin, but you're actually using your hands to communicate with Ajala. And this is like a way that you're slowly teaching Ajala Latin. And that you can understand his language, you're just not familiar with speaking it. And that's when you begin to like trip over yourself in the explanation. And he goes, but you haven't been moving your hands.
Until now, I don't know.
So how does he understand what you say with your hands when it isn't until you started talking about how you use your hands that your hands have become animated?
With my hands and my eye expressions.
Okay. You dig yourself into a deeper hole. Go ahead and make me
And at least
another...
Ajala goes like,
I'm just gonna kill this man. You guys all know it. You all know what's gonna happen.
perhaps
I can
you
see
should
it
tell
happening,
him.
yes.
I'm just gonna bite into his neck and rip out his main arteries.
So
Done.
which do you want to lie to him and then immediately go for him, or...
Let's lie first. Let's
Okay.
see how it goes.
All right.
How about you tell him that for some reason we understand each other and we're looking for answers in his library?
That's how you get burned on the stakes.
What
Is
stage?
it? As in,
Manipulation, and I'm gonna
it
go
could be a
with...
sign from God.
I'm gonna go with manipulation,
Or
empathy on this
heresy.
one.
Manipulation.
Because
What?
at this point, you're just wanting him to accept the lie, and he's already caught you in so many lies. Manipulation, empathy.
Manipulation, empathy, difficulty 7.
Yeah. Okay, he's gonna get a counter roll.
dear.
However, pray that he botches.
Botch.
But I mean, you haven't done anything wrong, you've just been acting very
Yeah.
weird.
I am weird. What do you mean?
Yeah,
I was
but I
born
mean,
this way.
he would probably just ask you to leave. He would probably not
Yeah,
like throw you to the wolves.
and that's what he does. He's like, well, I don't understand exactly what's going on here, but I'm going to have to ask you to leave for now.
Okay. Adios.
Okay.
Buenas noches.
All right,
On
you
the
guys
way
go
outside.
ahead and head out. And you just, as you're heading off into the distance down the road, you just watch as the priest is staring at the two of you.
Jella just shrugs on his way out, as in he's not following anyway.
Yeah. If he is, it's gonna be a tasty treat.
Nah, he's not following. He's just staring.
While you're thinking that, it's also clear daylight right now, so
And it's
Go
as
and
the
sleep.
two of you walk away from this church, realizing that this language barrier thing is going to become more of a problem the longer this goes on. The more intelligent people you start going around,
the more it will start to stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Oh dear.
Thank you all so much for coming out. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I've been Forgotten Dreams, your DM, GM, storyteller, whichever you would like to call me. I am surrounded by these wonderful people, starting with Azzy.
Yeah, SCFL, and I will be here around. I don't stream at the moment, so find me here.
Then Dorian.
You need to stream.
Hello, my name is Dorian Nosiforiel. I am not really streaming right now. I have a Twitch channel somewhere. I have a Twitter somewhere somehow. And that's about it.
And then G.
Just watch Dreams stream. You'll see me there eventually.
that works.
That works.
Sooner or later.
All right.
Sooner or later.
Well,
We'll
yeah.
be there.
You can catch us over on Twitch, Trovo, and YouTube. All right. So, adios.
Adios.
Bye.